I had to look myself in the mirror, ask myself what I'm capable of, and I knew I was going to have to grow.
Started building the company from day one. Started identifying customers, started working on the business model.
First day was an eye-opener. We stepped in and immediately they're like, all right, let's hear your 3-minute pitch. And we're like, what?
You have your little baby, your little idea that you've got. They don't take you by the hand and walk you through and say, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. They strap you to a rocket sled and they light it up.
They had great business ideas. They came in, hungry and ready to go. And I think they learned early on that maybe their plans weren't as solid as they thought.
I've started 4 businesses, and the hardest part of every one of those is deciding to sort of jump off the cliff. So this gives you the platform sort of in the push to jump off the cliff and do it.
We believe in their capabilities, we just don't believe in the delusion piece, right? So the deal is to strengthen the capabilities and beat the delusion out of them, right? And that's what we work to do.
We came in with an app concept, but not a business concept. We very, very quickly learned how to test that business on paper and learn that the original concept wasn't viable enough to support multiple people.
I think anytime you put somebody into a meat grinder, and I mean that in the best possible way, I think that has tremendous benefit.
I am trying to give them a sense of what it feels like to try to pitch their idea to an investor and the kinds of questions and thoughts an investor is going to have. So most investors say nice things even though they think more stringent things. I just let it flow right out. I let the companies hear what investors likely thinking.
This year, being a former mentor from Jumpstart Foundry's first class, expected there to be a higher degree of, formality to the program, but I didn't really expect it to be as well thought out and well structured as it was.
Those mentor relationships that I've had along the way that I've developed organically are incredibly valuable to me and have been to my career. I want to be able to provide that for somebody else.
I think the mentors associated with Jumpstart are well connected in this city. They want to help, they're giving their time to be here. You add 5 or 6 of them together in the room, there's probably no one in this city one of them doesn't know.
To have access to the pool of talent that's available to these guys here, to push their ideas, test their ideas, make contacts for them, that gets dramatically accelerated here.
They always say you learn from teaching as much as you do from being a student, and that has certainly been true.
I learned a lot about how to ask questions, when to maybe intercede when there was something that was really critical, but basically how to keep my hands off of it and not let it be about me. It's their company.
I sat down with the guys and they had talked about all these places they were going to sell, and I said, well, great, within the next week, let's get letters of intent. And they were like, well, isn't that a little early? And I was like, well, no, go out and get them just to verbally commit.
We were working on trying to find the early customers. Only one of the guys was from Nashville, the other 2 were from California. About 6 of us sitting around knew some folks who owned or were managing some of the high rises in town. We were able to pick up the phone and get them some appointments. Those appointments turned into some early customers who were willing to beta their project.
Lots of these guys need that extra push and that extra structure to go from sitting around talking about it at the bar to actually doing something.
What happens here is there's somebody every day, not just helping them, but on them to succeed.
It gave us tools that we didn't have before, and we would have sat there and created this kitchen sink approach that this is what we think everybody wants, this is what they're going to love, as opposed to start out lean, get customer feedback, build what they want.
What I have seen happen is that these guys are 8 weeks into actively working in their companies, and they really understand what makes their customers tick and what their customers need.
By having these mentors involved in the program, they're helping these startups navigate the issues that they would have problems with if they were going at it alone. They're able to say, don't take this path, have you thought about this idea? Or, don't listen to this guy, he's just going to try to steer you down the wrong path.
That's the thing that I've seen them grow the most in, is their ability to take feedback and process it and turn it into something valuable quickly. Not take it and say, okay, I'm going to do what you say, but say, oh, okay, good. I'm learning from this interaction and I'm going to improve my business.
Every Thursday morning, we come in and practice pitch, and Michael is there, and we have to spill out our heart and souls, and if we don't, he calls us on it.
Chris Blands owns a design company, and he is responsible for the latest version of our logo. I mean, he literally came up behind me, saw me working on Illustrator, and he's like, just move over. He did in 10 minutes what I would have never been able to do.
It's competitive. You want to see where you land, but you want to feel good about how you got there. You know, we're all going towards the same goal, so there's camaraderie in that.
Yes, there's a camaraderie and a relationship side that comes to it, but there's also a heightened sense of competition slash, you know, this is real.
And sure, it's competitive. There's certain qualities that come with entrepreneurship. You know, you're not likely to find a non-competitive person in this program.
I think the most important part of Nashville is the city that was created by entrepreneurs. So most of the successful businesses in this city were created by people who actually want to help the next startup succeed.
What Jumpstart is doing is exactly what needs to be done here, and that's stir the pot. I think this is a part of a larger puzzle of building a world in this city where we can be the epicenter of the new music business, or where we can be the best place in America to start a company.
I think what we're doing here is an integral piece of helping Nashville, helping the Mid-South, helping Tennessee, helping the United States fuel those businesses that are going to keep people employed and, you know, do all the things that we wanted to do 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road.
I believe tech is going to have a tremendous impact on the future of Nashville from an entrepreneurial perspective. I think it's going to create a lot of jobs, I think it's going to create a lot of wealth, and I think it's going to frankly improve a lot of the existing industries that are here today.
Jumpstart is a vehicle to broaden our base of entrepreneurial startups in this town in a way that can really transform what we do here. I am convinced that we will have dozens of tech companies that have come out of this program in 5 or 6 years that are becoming the seedbed to bring even more companies in and spawn more of those kinds of companies.
And there's kind of a stage in the middle of Nashville right now to innovate and to kind of challenge boundaries, and I think everyone's gathered around and watching.